Nerd Vengers, Broke Vengers, visitors to the tower. Good morning. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. Smash that like button. Give it a nice little tap, tap, tap. See you soon. Hey, Trev, have a good day, brother. That badge is looking real good, huh? Chet, we're like 23 minutes late, dude. We should probably just get it going. Theory missed the $1,000 super chat last night, about 30 minutes from the end. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, oh well. Hello and good morning, Nerd Vengers, Broke Vengers, and visitors to the tower. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Tuesday show. Tuesday stream. We're gonna get it popping today, man. I'm excited. Is the mic hot? I had to turn it up yesterday on for Nerd Theory. I feel like the mic might be a little hot. I just turned it down. Is it hot? Do we have a hot mic? I don't know. You let me know. A little bit hot? Yeah, it's probably a little bit. Ah! Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's hot. Okay, sorry. That's probably annoying. Anyways, today, what we're going to talk about is a little rumor about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But what I really think we'll be able to sort of get into today, what I think we'll be able to talk about is the MCU multiverse in general and just what I think they're doing with a lot of these castings and things of that nature. Okay, so that's what the main thing is today. But also, overall as well, we are saying goodbye to 2020, you know? I think that's kind of like what this whole week's about, is saying goodbye to 2020. See ya. Bye-bye. You won't be missed, etc., etc. And so tomorrow, I'm going to actually try to... Uh-oh, it's about to get sad in here. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to try to... I'm going to attempt to do the stream I did when I got mad and turned off the stream. So that's what tomorrow will be. And then we'll also, throughout the week, just be talking about 2020 and how it went and all of that. You know, I want to get on the horn, and maybe I will, with Al and Lavis, because Thursday is, of course, New Year's Eve. And I'm not saying that they should be there streaming for New Year's Eve, but maybe someone at the channel should. Maybe we should have a little New Year's Eve thing. I don't know. What are you guys doing for New Year's? Should we do something for New Year's as far as streaming? I don't know. We'll get into that. We can talk all about that. And yes, I do want to make mention of the fact 2020 not doing shit. Yeah. So, I do want to make mention of the fact that we have diamond badges in the chat. And this is so cool for a number of different reasons. Number one, Trev came in and already left, so I can talk a bunch of shit on him now. I remember people thought diamond badges... Remember we thought a couple months ago that diamond badges should be here by now or whatever? The point is, when we started doing the channel members as a way to support the channel, we got away from Patreon. And actually, it's funny. we did all of this during a time when our revenue was being cut by at least 40% and maybe more because of the pandy, because the ads being hit, etc., etc. So we sort of made this massive shift. And there were so many people that jumped on board right away. And I remember those first couple of streams, and when we were talking about the idea of the Nerd Vengers, the idea of how the badge would progress, and all that sort of stuff. And to see actual diamond badges in the chat is really cool, man. It really makes me feel good. Because those are people that have been with us for at least 6 months. And if you hang with us for at least 6 months, you will get a diamond badge as well. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I think they look good. You guys let me know. I think they look good. So, I'm only 9 days in. Yeah, diamond will come. Yeah. I think the next one's a year, and I think the next one is 2 years. So, it takes time, you know. But we just wanted to make them look cool. And, yeah. So, that's cool. Right on! Hell yeah. I need to turn this gain down. I feel like I'm clipping out on the high end. No? You don't think so? Chet? What do you know? I think that might do the trick right there. And now I can actually turn this up just a bit there. Oh, and then I think that's where we get that sweet spot. Oh! Okay. Cool. How do I become a Nerd Venger? Can somebody get the link in the chat? Look, you're supposed to be able to... I mean, they should make it as easy as possible. If it's YouTube. You know what I mean? They should make it as easy as possible. But they don't. Still clipping? Yeah, it's probably clipping a little bit still. But I'm good with that. I can live with it. But we heart the broke ventures too, of course. We look, all kinds of things are needed to create a YouTube community and a brand and stuff, and not everybody can support, and not everybody should support right away. To people that are new, they're like, I don't know what this dude's about. I don't know what this channel's about. I'm not just going to sign up. But that diamond badge does look pretty fucking dope, though, so I'm thinking about it. You know, takes time. If we're doing it right, we'll get you. If we're not doing it right, you're better off without us. That's what I think. So, I did want to sort of talk about Dan Mitchell. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. I would like to talk a little bit about yesterday and, of course, the craziness that ensued and all of that kind of stuff. I think, you know, from my perspective, I felt as though yesterday was good, and I felt like we did well and that we were fair. But I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel. Crichton Smith, welcome. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. So, yeah, what do you think? Great podcast? Yeah, what did you think? What was your guys' take on last night's podcast? We could sort of kind of talk about that for a little bit first before we get into the Fantastic Four stuff, if we'd like to. You were very fair. Our den chat was very positive. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't look at the chat. I got to be honest. I didn't even really look at the stream. I don't usually look at the stream with Theory. Just because, like, look, I think all that is fine and well. And in that moment, I'm really more there to just perform, bounce off him, keep the, you know, the flow or whatever. Awesome. Cool. Okay, sweet. Seems like it was pretty positive. That's good. So Santa says, I would have liked to have seen a little more willingness to talk. Seemed a bit juvenile to me. Honestly, Santa, I totally understand you, and I appreciate you, but getting that feedback from you, knowing who you are, means I probably did a good job. Just being honest. Den chat was dope. We had a good time. That's great. Al was dissing hard. Yeah. I get that. Look, I was very angry. I'll be honest with you. I held back a lot, dude. I held back a lot. There's stuff that I was told about Pablo yesterday that I wanted to talk about, and then in the moment, it felt a little raw. And yeah, more raw than what I was doing. I was about to go, like, I was telling people, let me explain something. And I'll just, like, you know, I'll just keep it a buck. I was really mad and wanted to be mad. Have you ever been like that? Like, it's almost like righteous anger. Have you ever been angry and you're like, yeah, and I want to be angry. Now, sometimes that's like horrible and you can get in this spiral and it's like horrible and whatever. But I felt as though last night what I was trying to do was sort of like almost Shatterpoint, I guess, like Mace Windu. Like sort of allow the dark side to flow but not be touched by it, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's important to me that we're not just yelling at clouds or just crying wolf or being just like every other butthole. I think it's very important. I think tact is a lost art in a lot of ways. And yeah, I just tried to do my best to make my points in a way that I felt like they would be heard by the people that I think needed to hear them. And then we just let the universe sort itself out. You know? That's my opinion. So, crazy seeing other Star Wars YouTubers on Twitter looking for a reason to go after Theory. Very childish. While trying to rise above. Lost respect for ISP and others. Yeah, so I'm not 100%. I gotta be honest, I didn't see too much of that, like, of people going at him or whatever. But then again, I was sort of in my own little world and bubble and everything like that, right? Here, I'll tell you one of the Pablo stories, just kind of between us or whatever. You're a pretty chill guy, Josh. A Grace shill sometimes, but other than that, you're cool. I'm a Grace simp. I'm a Marvel shill. Jeez. CGM show. We'll forgive you because it's the end of the year, but learn the lingo, you fucking boomer. God damn! All right, listen. Tell you a little story about Pablo. Okay? Yeah, we're not done. Okay. So I think one of the main reasons that a lot of people are hesitant to go after Pablo, or perhaps they want to defend him or whatever, is because I think that many people sort of see him as this guy that just went after the fandom menace. And look, it is what it is. Like, I can't go... I don't know what's going on in people's brains or hearts, but I'll tell you, there's this thing that happens where people are kind of like, oh, but if it happens to the fandom menace, I'm not really worried about it. Like, it's not really a thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not that big of a deal. Does it really matter if they're being harassed, though? You know? Does it really matter on principle? I don't know. I'm asking because I don't want it to matter, and I want to know how the room feels. You know what I mean? Like, there's a weird thing that happens in that situation, and I think that a lot of people think that Pablo was sitting back being very nice to a certain group of Star Wars fans, like sequel trilogy supporters, and that he was just really mean to the fandom menace. Michael, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You're a Nerdvenger now. Sorry, I'm just mid-monologue. You caught me monologuing, but welcome. So here's the thing about that. That's not only not true, it's like it paints a weird, stupid picture. And I think actually there's an argument to be made that both sides of this fan war have actually made that seem like that was the way that it is. And what I want to say, without being super clear about it, is that I know some people that are like just salt of the earth, awesome, dope ass human beings that have done nothing but ever just try to be positive about Star Wars and make positive content. And I'm not saying that there aren't people like that maybe in the fandom menace, but regardless, the point remains. I know people that were sequel trilogy supporters that are content creators. By the way, I have to be careful about what I say, but like, I want to tell you that these are people that if you knew who they were, it would surprise you, especially if you're a sequel trilogy supporter. If I told you the person and the persons that have had super negative bullying-like experiences with Pablo, that you would be surprised. You'd be like, really? And I'd have to be like, yeah, here's the thing. He doesn't care. He just shits on everyone. That's the thing. He shits on Raylos. He shits on Fandom Menace. He shits on people that want to just talk about or pontificate about theories, speculation, or whatever. He's a grumpy fuckboy. And he's been that way for years. And so part of the reason that I was so upset yesterday is that I know that I know a certain amount of the people that are defending him just have absolutely no reason to defend him. Like, and I just want to, like, without going super hard, just fight against that idea, not the people. Right? No, the idea. It's the idea that's poison. It's the idea that's being used against us. It's not the people. You feel me? He's a bully, bro. I'm just going to tell you what it is. He's a bully. He's been a bully. Anybody sticking up for that motherfucker, either uninformed, which is okay. Hit my line. I'll give you some tea. You're either uninformed or you're incentivized to look the other way. So, new subject. Working out today? I should, huh? I'm getting so skinny, Trin. I'm getting so skinny, and then I'm getting fat in the face, bro. I would really like it if the gyms open back up again. I'd really like it could we end 2020 a little early? If we could get to like back to like life and stuff, you know? All I want to do is lift heavy objects. If I lift heavy objects and I grunt, I'm less angry on these streams. Just put some heavy objects in front of me. I need a mirror. I don't know. My dumb Polish self needs a mirror. I need a mirror to look at. Otherwise, I can't lift heavy things. I need that squishy floor that's like firm but squishy. Otherwise, I don't know. I can't do it at home. It's not the same. Anyway. All right. Let's talk Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Reed Richards. So, subject change. Do a home gym, says Annie J. Annie, I tried. It's not the same. Smoke some grass, you'll be less angry. Never heard of that. Okay, listen. Y'all gotta let me know in the chat. Let me know. In the chat. Yes or no? Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Reed Richards. Yes or no? Do you want it? Do you hate it? Do you not know who Joseph Gordon-Levitt is? Don't bring that up in the chat. They'll make fun of you pretty bad. Just keep that one to yourself. Just Google it. This is really interesting to me. So I've actually anticipated this. I actually felt as though this would be the way that it is. I'm seeing a 70-30 split. 70% of people are no. Now let me ask you, chat. Let me ask you. Yes or no, and be honest. I'll know if you're lying. Let me know yes or no. Yes or no. Is this because of Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Or rather, is this because of John Krasinski? John Krasinski is the reason you don't want Joseph Gordon-Levitt because of John Krasinski. Okay, a lot of no's. I'm actually surprised by that. There's a lot of yeses in there. Fair bit of no's, though. I'm actually surprised. Okay, so maybe many of you just don't think he's right for the role. All right, we got to change it up because I'm getting confused. Put a 1 into the chat if you think he's just not right for the role. Put a 1 into the chat if you think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is just not right for the role. He's just not right for it. Wow, okay. Cool, we got there. Interesting. That's interesting. So, I don't know, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. My gut... Ooh, oh, man. That is interesting. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. All right, enough of the ones. I get it. No more ones. I'm done with the ones. I think here come the ones. Okay, so I know that... Look, I'll be real. My initial take on it was, no, he's not good for the role. I was like, nah, dude. Like, he's great. Like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's great. Trinity's getting triggered over there. Trinity's checking badges. He's just making sure. Yeah, so, look, I originally when I heard about, and by the way, this comes from Charles Murphy, and the deal is, let's talk about what the actual story is before we get wild, okay? Because here's the thing. We're speculating here. You know, we're speculating. But I have this funny sort of humorous thought that this is probably going to happen, and the reason it's funny is because we talked about this. We talked about how if they don't do John, some fans might get upset, and that would be interesting. We've talked about how we've never had an experience like this where a fan casting was so beloved and so like clung to, in my opinion, that they've got to be very careful about who they cast. I don't think John Krasinski is Reed Richards. I think John Krasinski is Captain America from a different universe. That's what I think. But we'll circle back to that because he could technically be both, right? But we'll circle back to that. The main thing is, if you're not going to pick John Krasinski, you've got to pick someone that I think... Let me be crystal clear. In order to, I think, appease the sort of fan feelings, you would need to pick someone that felt similar to John, which is weird. In and of itself, it's weird. It's all weird. It's like a fan casting that was so good, we're inevitably set up for heartbreak. Because it's not going to happen. That sucks. And you put on top of that Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who, I'll be real, I think a lot of people would have a problem with at a surface level reaction. And Charles on his website has just talked about how Joseph Gordon-Levitt has met with higher-ups at Marvel recently. Charles Murphy's good at what he does. I believe him. I believe him. And he's talked about, he did an article about this, he talked about all the different things that it could be for. Now, there was a rumor that he was a front runner for Moon Knight, but Charles, if you read the article, he kind of makes it seem like the Oscar Isaac thing or whatever that is maybe figured out or has been in deep negotiation for a long, long time, because when talking about this, Charles says that it's possible that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is even just coming in to do writing on Moon Knight to keep it authentic. I think in the Jewish sense is what Charles was getting at. I'm not 100% sure. Charles Murphy or Daniel for better sources. Daniel's got all the info, but Charles is incredible. And if Charles gets on a scoop, man, and he they both have done great work. I think a lot of people don't know what the work actually is for this kind of stuff behind the scenes, which is fine. But yeah, they're both really solid. They're both really solid. Some people think he could be Richard Rider. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Richard Rider, I think could work. But before we get off of this, let me just say that the more I thought about it, here's the thought I had, and I'll just sort of tell you my thought, and then we'll kind of go from there, okay? I had this thought that, what if part of the problem is that we're casting for a version of the Fantastic Four that it doesn't actually exist anymore. We're casting for a version of Reed Richards that is sort of a combo of the Fox films and what we remember from the comics. It's kind of like a weird amalgamation. Is that a word? Amalgamation? It is today. So it's like this weird combo of elements that we think of for the character, right? And I started to think of well, what if Feige has a totally different idea, a totally different vibe? And then I started to think of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I think is a tremendous actor, who I think is an incredible actor, actually. He'd be a good get, man. And depending on the way they wanted to play Reed, because I think the main thing is he's just young. And it's not that he's actually young, it's that he's young and he's young looking. He's one of those guys like Paul Rudd. Because Paul Rudd's a million years old and he looks like he's 30. Sometimes you got a baby face or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just as you get to be the age of the Holy Grail and you still look like we're not sure if we could sell you cigarettes. So, I think that's the main complaint with him. But I started to think of his interactions as the Reed Richards character, mind you, with some of the other, potential characters over there. And I was like, dude, he could do it. It would be a different vibe than I think a lot of us are maybe at least look like. Maybe I want to say that we're looking for, but that's not really what I mean. I think it's just like more of like our gut level base kind of desire for the characters. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, and so Dan says, someone suggested the Council of Reeds. I saw that, and I agree, and we can go there now. Someone suggested the Council of Reeds would be mad if we got John, David Washington, and Dave Patel all cast for them. Yeah, dude, okay, so great point. Timothy Olyphant could do it too, yeah. Because I think this is what's going to be cool is... So we're getting some version of Council of Lokis, maybe Council of Kangs. You know, we're breaking the multiverse open, obviously. And if you think about all the stuff that's going to happen with Spider-Man 3, you know, you think about all this multiverse stuff. Like, yeah. Maybe we could have a version of Reed that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's a little bit different because if you think about it, the whole MCU is different than the comics and all of that. So maybe we have a different version of that, but maybe in a different universe, it is John David Washington, you know, even John Krasinski. Like, it could be any number of these people, and you could play different versions. So, again, we've been talking about, until we get more answers, we don't know what the rules are, but I've been sort of playing around with this idea of, within the multiverse, that worlds or universes probably exist in pairs. That is actually in a lot of different pop culture. It's in, believe it or not, Dragon Ball with the way they do their multiverse. It's in it's in Marvel leading up to the new Secret Wars because the two Earths collide and that's what causes the universes to be being destroyed. So I think you might see a scenario where Earths are linked, like there's basically all of the realities have a pair, and in those pairs share stage 4 symmetry. And this will be how we have Electro, Doc Ock, all of these different characters from the Sony movies, but they're going to be slightly different. Level 4 symmetry, thank you. What do I always call it? I call it something stage 4. Anyway, I believe this will be the explanation for how we're able to pull characters from those worlds, have them familiar enough to audiences that they are, for all intents and purposes, the same character, which is important. But also for the sweats that are going to get out like the chalkboard and try to figure it all out, they might put in some lines and make it so there is an explanation there. You know what I mean? And then the parallel Earths are a part of that. And so I think we could see versions of the characters from our universe that look exactly the same. So let's just say, for this example, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Well, if he's Reed in our world, could he be evil Reed in the mirror Earth? That would be dope, because Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually, to me, fits better with the evil Reed Richards from the Ultimates comics than he does for the actual traditional Reed from the 616. Are you feeling me? Do you understand? Do you understand where I'm coming from with that? Does anybody get that? Any questions? Bizarro Reed, kind of. It's kind of like that, yeah. But can he grow a goatee? Well, they can glue a goatee on his forehead if they have to. I feel like it's all too far out from what they'll actually do. Hey, maybe. We're gonna know soon-ish. Just don't have Josh play him. Nah, not me. I say just release all the MCU content. No! Yeah. We've been waiting, Rob. We've been awaiting. Marvel fans been good, man. They've been pretty patient. Will, I did not miss your super chat. We go over super chats at the end of the stream. And you know what? We're almost there. So just hold on. Can you imagine if we see Chris Evans as a Human Torch? I absolutely can imagine that. It would be great. Everything that's announced is coming out until late 22. There's going to be a million things coming out next year, and then there's a million things coming out in 2022. I've heard Armor Wars and Secret Invasion could squeeze out 2022. Can you believe it? About to be a lot of MCU. Anyway, let's bring it home. Let's bring it home with the Reed Richards example. Truthfully, I feel as though this might happen. If this exact scenario doesn't happen, I think a similar scenario will happen. And I think we need to start opening ourselves up to the possibilities of whatever the MCU Fantastic Four looks like, it being just different maybe than what has come before. But we have to trust that at its core, it will represent those characters. You know, that whole team, Feige, the whole company, they care deeply. But they do change things, and they make a cinematic version. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I am gonna follow this very closely, because here's the thing. Like, I'll just look. Being 100% honest with you, I actually think this is like sometimes, and I'm not accusing Charles of anything, but sometimes when you find out a bombshell piece of information, you can't just say it. You've got to tease it out. Sometimes I act stupider than I am. And I lie about things because I can't just say everything. You understand? And so there's literally a part of me that, does my voice ever get tired? Yeah, for sure. Just iced coffee. Just freaking iced coffee and Sith Tiva. And just keep going. Yeah. You're always streaming. Oh, I know. Oh, I know, brother. You've always been streaming, Mr. Tomlin. You've always been here. That's how it feels sometimes. But I love it. All right, let's get into super chats. You don't tell us everything, right? Okay, let's get into the super chats. Everybody, get your super chats going. I have to fill up my water real quick, so give me just a second here, okay? Get your super chats going. I'm going to go through all the super chats that we have. If you don't have any loot, seriously, don't worry about it. I'll be chatting with just the regular chat a lot as well today, so I'll be peeking at that. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to pee, fill up my water, be right back, and then we're going to keep it moving. Going to keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Let's find a good music. A good intermission song. Oh yeah, this feels right. Oh yeah, man. Oh man. Now I just want to stay here and dance. Fuck. Alright, see you soon. We'll be back. This one's too much, dude. No. Ugh. Too much. Alright, let's chat. Let us talk about things. What are these things going on in the world? Barbaric Riemann says, could they do the one type thing so that people get stronger if the other realm people die? Ooh, okay, so first of all, that is such a callback to an old Jet Li movie that like nobody saw, but that was actually really dope. So thank you for that, number one. That movie's sweet. Oh, by the way, Gray Box is back, ladies and gentlemen. We are switching over. I've just been swamped with work and Star Wars drama. So we're going to switch over because I can't stand this stupid gray box. Y'all know I don't like it. Anyway, we'll bear with it today. Will with the $5 holla says, are you and Theory open to doing a Q&A on Nerd Theory? Maybe do a join members so you won't be spam or trolled. Sure, yeah, man. We want to grow the show and we want to develop the show and we want to do different things with it. But at the same time, look, to me, there's something happening with that show that I think is sort of understated, and that is that we think about the platform itself and not just... We're trying to do something with there, you know? There's the work being done that maybe isn't being seen, I think is the best way to say it. Thank you, though. Topher says, how can you think Blade will connect to everything? Or how do you think Blade will connect to everything? So that's an interesting question. What I'm hoping, and we have very little information on this, right? So let's just start there. Very little info, high level of speculation coming at your brain right now. But what I would hope is that the mystical side of the MCU, which I do think will be explored a little bit more. For instance, there will be a vampire in Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. I repeat, there will be a vampire in the tournament for Shang-Chi. So I think they're going to start to introduce and set up this idea of the mystical side of things and how it all ties together. I mean, Moon Knight will deal with this. A lot of the Doctor Strange stuff deals with this. Wanda deals with this. We've got Agatha Harkness. We've got a lot of the sort of pieces for this. And so I think that that's the solution. That's how I would connect Blade to everything. And he's been in the shadows, quite literally. Everything with magic, you sort of get a way out, right? Also, while we're on the topic of Blade, boy, tell me it wouldn't be the dopest dope if they could get Wesley Snipes to be Dracula. Boy, tell me that shit wouldn't be lit. If they had Wesley Snipes as because if you don't know, in the comics, Dracula is not only a character, but he's awesome. He's actually one of my favorite versions of Dracula. He's great. So what if, bro? Whew. That'd be cool. So thank you for that, chat. Scott says, what video game are you most excited to play that will be released in 2021? A couple different answers. Okay. Halo Infinite, but I'm nervous. I hope Halo and the whole team at 343 just saw what happened with Cyberpunk and that they're going to be more careful and really take the time. Look, if they have to delay Infinite a whole nother year, but it's a good game, like, I'm okay with that, personally. So that's one. There's also an MMO out there called Ashes of Creation. And right now, it is in alpha testing. And eventually, it's going to get to beta. And I'm really looking forward to checking that out in beta. So CGM Show says, did you see those Eternals character bios? I did not, but I'll check it out. Was there anything real crazy there? You're not giving me a lot here, CGM. What a tease. What a tease. Josh I says, I'm a little bit bummed out today. I just sold my monster Jeep Wrangler. Been modding it for 7 years, but I did it to buy a new truck. P.S. Take my money. Well, Josh, thank you, brother. I appreciate the love as always. Sorry to hear about the Jeep, man. Oof, that's rough. But, I mean, you're getting the new truck. I assume the new truck is dope, so, you know. It's the will of the force, I guess. You know? Neil Boogie! You sure you aren't related to George Lucas with the $4? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Dirt Wizard with the $10 holla says, Star Wars idea. If they ever did live action Quinlan Vos, I think Idris Elba is the guy for that role. The best part of waking up is den of nerds in your cup. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man. Taylor Falk says, wish I had more cheddar to throw your way. Thanks, bro. Dude, you don't have to worry about that. Money comes, money goes. But Nerd Vengers for life. You feel me? Wait, that doesn't make sense because it, all right, technically costs money. Anyway, listen. Point is, we love you. This is a place. This is a temple of love. This is a temple of love. So let's go like 10 more minutes. I'm your big, big fan. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, big, big fan. Santa Claus is an Omega level mutant in Marvel. Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny, huh? Let's go like 10 more minutes. I'm just going to be in the chat. What are y'all thinking about? You have a really hateful comment. You've been waiting for it. Now is the time. What comic stories do you want to see in the MCU? So I always, this question gets asked a lot, and I understand it. Scarlet Spider. The run by Christopher Yost when he goes to Houston and he had like a solo run. The end of it's kind of whack because I'm sure they made him into that early. But it's a great arc, and I love that character. So that's the one. That's what I want to see. Dark Avengers, says Mr. Anderson. So, Mr. Anderson, are you aware of my most recent theory? My most recent theory for the Dark Avengers? Does everybody know my current theory? So my current theory actually is that they will do the universe where Tom Cruise is Iron Man, Joaquin Phoenix is Doctor Strange, Krasinski will be Cap, Emily Blunt will be Black Widow. I hope they get man, I forget who was going out for War Machine, but there was some big names that were attached to War Machine too. Basically, they'll do the alternate version of the Avengers, and then they will be nefarious or villainous. They'll be nefarious or villainous, and then those people, that'll be known as the Dark Avengers. That's the Dark Avengers. That's what I think. Billy Magnuson as Johnny Storm. I'll have to check that out. I don't know who that is. Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Yeah, I think he's coming back. Probably for just like one more ride, maybe two. Certainly cameoed. I actually think they're going to do multiple Wolverines. I think they've got a dude. They've got a young dude. And I think they've got Hugh coming back as well. Dan the man with the $2 holla says, my good brother Josh. How are you this morning? Man, I'll tell you, I'm good, man. I'll tell you, I'm good. A little low, a little lacking on the sleep. I haven't been sleeping well. I don't sleep well anymore. Since your mother. Yeah, so I don't sleep well. I woke up super late today. I wanted to do more cool things on the stream today. But the truth is, like, what we're look, we're closing out 2020, man. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but these next couple of days, man, there's zero fucks to give. Like, I was trying to be respectful yesterday of Theory's situation and his platform and everything like that. But when it comes to me, yo, we had 2 days. I can't believe this year just happened. I still can't believe it. Yeah, I just want to let loose, kick back, and chill with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, we have had a year. You know what I mean? So we're just going to kick it. We're going to chill. We're going to talk some shit. We're going to curse. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to while out for for this week. We'll be mature later. We'll be more buttoned up later. I'll be more cognizant of all the messaging and all that horse shit later. I bet Josh was a hair model in a previous life. That's very sweet of you. I can't go get my hair cut, so it just keeps getting longer, and that's why I wear all the hats this year. That's why I had to wear so many hats this year. Did you know I've had 2 haircuts in all of 2020? I'm pretty sure. And one was like relatively recently. Fucking A. Mike with the $2 holla says, I'm so glad we are talking MCU again. Bro, we're going to be talking about MCU like for the rest of time. For the rest of time. You know what I mean? I'm pretty excited. I hope we get to see Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU again, says Luca. I actually hope so too, and I think we will, but I don't think it's going to be in any like big way. I don't think they're just going to bring him back. I think they'll save it for something that has impact. Josh, just buy a clipper set. I was so scared to do it at first, but it's so easy to cut your own hair. I'd rather just put a hat on, dude. Like, just being real. Like, I'd just literally rather put a hat on than do all that. This guy. Oh, that's funny, Trin. That's funny. Josh, what media are you most excited about in 2021? There's a lot of great media. I'm excited for the Snyder Cut, dude. Like, I'm super excited for the Snyder Cut. You know? Like, I really am. It's gonna be dope, dude. It's gonna be dope, and like it'll be great to stick it to everybody that was like a big butthole about it. You know what I mean? So the Snyder Cut's gonna be delicious. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is very high for me. Shang-Chi is very high for me. The Eternals is very high for me. Book of Boba is gonna be dope, dude. Like, Book of Boba is gonna be crazy. Like, I can't wait to see what kind of wild ass shit they come up with for Book of Boba. That's gonna be really fun. So, and then we got Cobra Kai like in a couple of days, guys. Okay, let's talk about this. Y'all want to do? Michael asks, "Is Squadrons worth buying? How much is it now? Is it down? It's gotta be down in price, right? It's gotta be. Y'all want to watch some Cobra Kai together on Friday? What do you think? Friday, Cobra Kai watch party. What do you think? First review I saw on Cobra Kai Season 3 wasn't very good. How dare you, Adam G? How dare you? Don't you put that evil on me, Adam G. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. It's not necessarily in our verticals. It's cool, but it's not like super nerdy, right? Oh, I love Cobra Kai, dude. I'm a huge fan. Is it weird that I'm not excited for the Book of Boba? No, it's not weird. I mean, maybe it's... Okay, in some sense, it's weird, right? Yeah, of course. Like, come on, dude. Book of Boba, shut the fuck up. It's weird. But in a sense, it's not weird. In the way that, like... Look, things just hit people in different ways. Like, there's been plenty of stuff out there that, like, the whole world or, like, the whole internet told me that, like, if I wanted to be lockstep, this is how I should feel or how I should think, and I just didn't, like, for whatever reason. So however shit hits you, it's Gucci. It's cool. But also, like, sure, it's weird, I guess. You know? I don't know. Did that answer make any sense? Restore the Snyderverse movement. You heard this? Yes, I have heard that. It's awesome. I'm glad they're doing it. But it's also, I think, going to happen regardless. But it's cool that the fans are doing their thing, man. Any new Spider-Man 3 news? Tobey Maguire refuses to sign as long as Pablo Hidalgo still works for Disney. That's what I've heard. I've heard that if we really want Tobey to come back, our hopes and dreams rest upon Pablo taking a fucking hike, metaphorically speaking. When Venom 2 trailer? I don't know. That's a good question. I'd love to see some Venom 2, man. We've got some, Kendall, did I? Oh, I got you, brother. Bro! What can you tell us about Armor Wars? Don Cheadle always kills TV series. Hella pumped for it. Yeah, so I'll tell you the one thing I can say about Armor Wars. And first of all, I'm super pumped, man. I love Cheadle in that role. I think he's going to kill it. It's going to be really interesting. I think that the young gal, like whoever they got to be Ironheart, like they just quietly like cast the gal as Ironheart. I think she looks good, dude. She looks like, I think she's pretty sexy. And also has like kind of like a fierceness to her as well, which is cool. And also nothing like the trash ass comic book version. So I think she might actually be involved in Armor Wars as well. And the only thing that I know that's kind of interesting about that is that Armor Wars and Secret Invasion are likely going to be the first Disney Plus MCU shows that don't have like a character's name in their title. Meaning it's not necessarily going to focus completely on one character. Does that make sense? Dude, I'm sure Rob from Comic Explained has a video on Armor Wars. There's got to be Armor Wars. Pro or con Bitcoin? I think that there will be a lot of money made in Bitcoin over the next couple of years, but I think the long-term viability of Bitcoin is super low. It depends on the ability for companies to create software like the Lightning software, which would allow like the transfer of funds and verify, like basically the ability to verify proof of funds and then allow, like, I guess, pending transactions. One of the problems with Bitcoin, and we'll end on this because I'm actually kind of doing this as a joke because Adam's like sort of joking, but also I do want to talk about this. So one of the problems with Bitcoin is that it's so secure, right? It takes so long to encrypt it. It takes a lot of computing power and real time to verify and do anything really with the blockchain and with crypto, okay? So its greatest strength is its security, but that creates a weakness in the consumer marketplace. And the consumer marketplace values convenience almost above everything else. And so crypto inherently cannot, in its current form, replace hard currency. The question becomes, will hard currency itself get replaced with some kind of credit or equity system? If that happens, it's possible that Bitcoin could have long-term relevance as an asset. My current opinion, though, is that it's more likely that a shitty version of Bitcoin will just get created by a company, a bank, a government, etc., and that it'll just suck out all the air in the room when it has to do with Bitcoin. But there's a lot of money to be made in the next couple of years on Bitcoin for sure. That's what I think. But also, if you're one of these people that doesn't understand positions or actually have a portfolio and you just think you're going to buy Bitcoin, and then you're an idiot. And I mean that like sincerely, like you are sincerely an idiot. And that sting that you feel, if that sting helps you not lose some money in the future, then I'm perfectly willing to be that sting for you. You idiot. What a positive lesson to leave off with this stream. What a positive message of hope. If you think you know what you're doing, you're an idiot. Josh Lucas, 2020. Message of the day, you're all idiots. Hey, we're all idiots. Let's get it right. We're all idiots. I'm one of them. I can't end up with this fluty bullshit. Put something else on. No! 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 Okay. Alright, everybody. We're going to call it there, okay? Check out for... Oh, you know what? You're definitely going to want to watch the edited version of Nerd Theory from last night. Adam did a great edit. It hits hard, but it's fair. It's funny. Check that out later on the main channel, okay? Alright, everybody, that's going to do it for me. Be back at it tomorrow. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Oh.